Yes.
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 Yes, way back. I knew your mom. Yeah, that couple decades. Yeah,
Yes.
and I knew your mom from the Chris Wilson Institute way back. And you would come sometime open the meeting and bring your violin, and
Yeah.
I'd be recording Dr. Wilson's lecture. And I said, that boy there can play.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, how did you get started with the violin, Ray Curt?
Oh, well, serendipitously through junior high school.
Okay.
And but even though as we're speaking, my mom, she's more of the musician in me and
Wow.
the motivation of it all. You know, you always have
She loved the
some-
music.
She loved music. She loved dance. She loved art. I mean, she was an artist activist.
Oh,
and
wow.
everything. So, but
How'd you pick it up?
Well, the thing is, I mean, musical training started like from going to church and singing all the time. And so I sang and learned music through that and piano. And so by the time I got to junior high school, they had music instruments in the building. And yeah, those days they had it that way. So I thought I would play the violin, and they said, "Oh, we don't have a violin. You can take home the viola." Okay, well I'll try that too. And then
So you started actually with the viola.
yes.
Oh, okay.
So I took it home, and then I was listening to some Beethoven, and the most beautiful piece of music, the second movement of the Seventh Symphony, starts out with the violas and the cello, and
Wow.
it's just well, I can play a little bit of it if
Yeah, play,
on the-
yeah, because
just
people
that
hear us talking.
motif. I mean, it was like an inspiration.
Okay.
Even though this is a violin, but that's basically
That's
with the
what.
violin.
So that's one of your early pieces that you learned.
Yeah, yeah.
How long did it take you to learn that piece, Ray Curt?
Oh, a couple weeks, because it's in
wow.
your mind and it's taking over your whole body and spirit.
Now,
and
how
so I
old were
wanted
you
to
at
get
this time?
About 12, 13.
Wow, and you learned that in about 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you had been
Well, I
playing
had to
long
put. Well, I mean, the music's in your, but you have to learn the physicality.
of it. Yeah,
Yeah, and so
that's part of the basics early
yeah,
on.
Yes. Yes.
Wow. So what'd your mom think when you played that piece? Well, did you do a recital or something?
Well, I mean, I brought home the instrument, and she was like, "What is he doing now?"
Sound
And
like
then
your
she's
mom.
like, "Just be home, just be finished seesawing, practicing by the time I get home," you know. But
But you stuck with it.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
because the whole hearing
Did
more
you-
music and
Did you have to develop the discipline, or did something this came with your desire to play?
It's this desire to play, to hear beautiful music.
Wow.
And then I'm surrounded by beautiful gospel music, beautiful church music.
That had
you
an
know.
impact on you as
Oh
well?
yes.
Why?
And you see people making beautiful music in our churches and incredible voices, the spirit, the audacity of the musicality.
But you
And
didn't. You didn't hear violins though.
Well, it's all music. There's
Well, it's all-
melody,
yeah, it's true. It's
melody, harmony, and
Yeah.
everything. So I heard that when I heard the orchestra and I heard the chamber music, and that made me even a more unique kind of instrumentalist because I'm coming from singing and breath tone and how a phrase is made, whereas other instrumentalists are just note for note and just, structure, which is very important, but I'm hearing melody. I'm hearing the whole thing.
So it was a holistic thing for you.
Yeah, oh yes. Exactly.
Regardless of what the instrument might have been.
Exactly.
Oh,
and so that's
wow.
how I'm approaching music to this
That's
day.
still how you, why, that's what I was going to say, that's still how you approach it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this instrument, this violin, and that.
Well, yeah, I don't
that.
even think about, I mean, and it is a difficult instrument, and what you got to do to make these sounds and hear other people play. And there are, I mean, that's what's wonderful about the instrument.
You make it talk, though.
Well, yes, and that's what's unique about it. Yeah, the instrument. Different people play, and then everyone plays it a different way.
And, it's interesting you say that because I remember, reading. This is Motown's 60th anniversary, and I remember listening to an interview with Berry Gordy, and he was saying one time he would hire the Detroit Symphony Orchestra to come in and play behind a lot of the Motown artists.
Sure.
And so the conductor would be saying, "Well, but Mr. Gordy, in terms of theory, we can't do this, we can't do certain." And Mr. Gordy said, "I don't know theory." He said, "But I know what I hear in my head and my heart." And they played it and it would come out perfect. How do you explain that?
That's how the great. Well, that's how the greatest things are created. I mean, that's what creation is, and then if you study it,
Even if it goes against the grain of all you've been taught.
Yeah, from what you've been taught. I don't know. I mean, are there theories and there's set laws, but then there are the laws of nature, see. I hear a symphony when the birds wake up in the morning.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, you get into nature and then they're going and they are coordinated.
Wow, that's beautiful to say that, man. Because sounds comes from nature.
Well, and that's one of Beethoven's pastoral symphonies.
Talk about it.
I know you love Beethoven. Yes. I mean, he was organic, in his approach, even though his hearing went, but at least he portrayed what he felt, And other composers, they're great composers.
I got some questions, other questions I want to ask, but I want you to play whatever you want to play. You want to play some Beethoven?
Well, I like that piece. Actually, I thought of something of a woman composer. Wait a minute.
Killing me softly, brother.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Wow.
Roberta Flack.
Contemporary. Yeah, that's beautiful. Who wrote that piece? I think his last name was Daniels.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I hear
composer.
Roberta Flack.
Yeah, I'm just talking about the composer.
Yeah.
That's that. Yeah, I hear Roberta's voice in that, man.
Yeah.
Wow. What, did it take you long to learn that piece? Or did something?
No, I mean, you hear it and you play the melody, and then you put a few chords in there.
And you're just doing this for memory. You ain't sitting up here with music.
I mean, if you want to write it out, go ahead. They got technology for that.
Yeah, they do nowadays.
Yeah.
And that's the good. But now earlier we was talking about Beethoven, and you was talking about how he lost his hearing. Is it? I mean, how do you write music that you can't hear? This is in your mind.
Well, no, yeah, it's in your mind, and it is in your hearing of how you know how notes go. And so,
Even if he couldn't hear it.
And then even he was actually with the vibrations, with the piano, and then And then that's why his rhythm or his music is like the first of like some real hard rhythm and bass and boom, 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 and syncopation and everything. You know, yeah.
So even people who, so what I think I hear you saying is that even people who may be deaf,
Yes, they're going by vibrations.
They hear the vibrations.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the feeling of it. There's emotion. And yeah, and that's the other aspect of music is that why it's connecting people. It's the sound and everything, but the motion, you know, vibration and motion, and you know, dance. And so
hearing the music had nothing to do with hearing, feeling the vibration.
it's all you know what it is. I mean, you can segment what you want to hear or what you can, you know, feeling, but then that's the thing. That's what makes it universal because everyone can connect to it. So,
and I understand what you're saying because I've heard different artists say, you know, who perform around the world where people may not speak a word of English.
Oh yes,
but they still feel that music.
Well, that's
so beautiful, man.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why they say music is a universal language.
Yeah.
You think?
Well, that's what I experienced with my limited travels. I mean, I did get to Europe and did get to see a few things.
Talk about your travels.
Well, I had an
I know you've been world travel.
Well, basically Europe or so. I haven't been to Asia. Of course, we want to go to Africa and, you know, the motherland.
What was it like being in Europe?
But it was... yeah, just education experience, or just I stayed there. First, it was just to go there for presentation to Leipzig, Germany, the city of Bach, Johann Sebastian Bach, his town, and that's what took me there. But I was a part of a video documentary about the life and times of George Bridgetower, who was a friend and violinist of Beethoven. Okay. So they were interested in that story and for me to portray that or do concerts and that thing. So I did that for a couple months, and then I enjoyed being there and the food and yeah.
You really enjoyed it.
And so I went back and lived there, and I was living in Leipzig for 7-8 years.
Wow.
And coming back and, you know,
were playing all along?
Yes, I got into chamber orchestra. I even had my own little jazz cafe band. Okay. I just got very...
Yeah, well, you write as well, though. You compose as well.
Well, composing, I don't sit down and... Well, yes, you can do that. But you arrange things, you know. When you have a group, you know, for whatever musicians and instruments that you're going for.
But the beautiful thing is that every artist, every composer, every arranger, as an individual, what I hear may be something totally different from what the next musician hears. That's the beauty of it, you know?
Well, yes. Well, but everyone has to get on the same page if you're going to play together.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a whole lot of lessons in that, you know, for human.
Yes, as well.
You know, singing the same key.
Well, yeah, of course. You can sing the same key. Yes. Play something else that you favorite. Anything you like.
Oh well.
I have a lot of questions.
Because
this is what I mean. I love strings. I mean, the viola, the violin, the cello. I love strings, man. I really do. I've always loved strings. Even when in popular music, I'm strings and horns.
Well, let's see. If I can search. Let's see.
Yeah, just take your time. Wow. Ooh.
So that's how I would play
Absolutely
when I'm
beautiful.
playing on the street or everything. I'm sure some other musicians, they recognize it as Cigan, the Swan from Saint-Saëns.
Wow.
Usually for cello and orchestra, but it's such a beautiful melody.
It is
What the
indeed. So what's it like when you play on the street, Ray Curt?
Oh, it's fun. I mean,
Responses
I mean, you
from
got it.
people.
Yeah, well, I love music, and so I want to share that. And so, and people that's they're like, why are you doing this? And yeah, you're just connecting because and just make other people happy and see them smiling and so many grim and gloomy faces,
Now,
walking around.
Now, what kind of place have you played it on the street?
Yeah. Well, for instance, last week I'm at Union Station, right there, Ground Zero, Washington D.C., and then you have different metro stations, LaFont Plaza in the mornings, or.
Have you played in New York, places like that?
Oh yes, I had a string quartet. We were like the first groups to.
Oh wow.
That began the music of the New York program, the string quartet, and one of the members is still. Dave Barnett, he's calling it another name of the string quartet, but they're still performing. They call themselves West Village Quartet, and they're part of that program. And I'm still a member of the program, so I can go.
So you've been,
and get a permit if I want to go play up there. And that's,
What kind of things people invite you to play? Also, have you done like private things?
Yes, all the time. Retirement parties.
Oh wow.
Of course, weddings.
Weddings.
A divorce party.
Okay. Oh really? You did those too?
Yes.
What kind of music you might play at that, Ray Curt?
Just easy love songs, things to make to bring.
So you used to be my girl?
No, yeah, right.
The OJs.
But that's what's so funny. I mean, they knew they were going to break up, so they wanted, their
How
friends
you mend a
to
broken
be,
heart, Al Green?
Well, it was for their
Love
friends.
and happiness.
Yeah, it's difficult, their friends on each side, and they won't be, siding.
Wow.
Interesting concept.
Now, do they ask, when you do stuff like that, do they ask for a certain kind of music?
No, they just want the spirit of it.
Oh, okay.
They want the spirit of it, and and then wedding or anniversary party, they'll ask you, "Oh, this was our song," and then you'll make an arrangement for that. Yeah.
What about proms? You ever did proms for kids, like high school kids?
No, not really. Yeah, I don't. Been back in DC, I don't have readily a jazz band or whatever like that. But I have some musicians that are trio. We do gypsy jazz together.
Wow.
Yeah, some musicians.
And you enjoy that too?
Absolutely, yeah.
Now, who has influenced you as a musician? Have you had some influences? Not just in terms of the violin, but in terms of music in general.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean between the singers and
the
instrumentalists. I mean Duke Ellington.
Oh yes,
of course.
Yes, of course.
The Count Basie.
Oh man.
Leonard Bernstein. That's a mark in America, or a train of thought. It's violent stuff. Smith.
Violin.
Yeah, violinist. Who else?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
All kinds of.
Yes. I really enjoyed that. What you were playing, because it's just so beautiful.
Yeah.
But is there anybody else that you would like to? That I'd love to share. Something that anything you'd like to share.
Well, nowadays, I'd like to, make a statement about where the course of music is going, of what's inspiring new people to create more music amidst all of the bombardment of technology, and with technology.
It's taking the music.
Is right. Is it taking over us? I mean, are we to retain our organic spirit and stuff? Well, I'm saying it's a tool like anything else.
Oh, so you're not necessarily against technology.
No.
But some people are though. But some people say, "Well, that's not real music."
Well,
you know, you gonna have people who say that.
Well, that's what they say about rap.
Well, that's what they said to Stevie Wonder in the '70s when they were using all the computers, you know, with superstition and all that. So you're gonna have that probably with every generation.
Yes. Well, and then it is what the purpose of it's for, you know.
Yeah, they said it's the same thing.
If it's used for a campaign of war.
Right.
That's
That's true.
So
that's
I mean,
true.
really, no. That's my little statement as an artist because I'm trying not to war with anyone.
Yeah. Well, no, music. You can't be a musician and be at war because I mean, when you hear music, it's something beautiful that the Creator gave us through music that helps to calm the beast in some human beings. You know what I'm saying? It's music, man.
Yeah.
You know, that's the beautiful thing about it. Share a piece with us. Anything you might like to share.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Come on with it. took me there, bro. Okay. I had my eyes closed while you was playing, man. Come on there, man.
Come on, man.
I'm saying, man. Woo.
I go there too.
Wow, that's beautiful, brother.
Yeah.
Give us the story behind that piece. What's the name of that piece?
Well, it's actually from a movement of a Mozart string quartet.
Oh, okay.
And we used to play in my string quartet. We used to play that. The whole string quartet is like of different movements and everything. But that one, I mean, I'm just playing the melody and some of the other notes, but when you hear the other harmonies and all of that, oh my gosh.
The cello and all of that?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And
I love
so, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I'm a poet. But I was almost like I was lifting up out of myself for a minute. Then I'm like, let me come on back. We're doing this show. Come on back. No, it's just that beautiful. Yeah.
That's
it's just that beautiful. Wow. So you've been doing that piece for a long time?
Well, I mean, it just comes to mind. I mean, there's a whole gamut of beautiful pieces to play. You know, Bach.
Wow. Well, we can do some more before we get out here. The show ain't over yet.
That's right.
It ain't over.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so, man, I was just thinking, you know, what would you say to parents who have young people who are studying music who want to do what you do? What would you say to
well,
some of the basics.
To do what I do,
nobody can do what you do because you.
Well, yeah, everyone has their own path.
That's right. Yeah. So I can.
And that's the thing.
So let me rephrase that. Children who may be interested in music and maybe just starting out.
Well, they are to be motivated. Okay, for instance, like my mother, she was connected and to make sure that that arts and all of those other disciplines, it is a discipline.
It's a discipline, of course.
And that it was available to her children and other children
as well,
and to support it and to find other people to continue to support it and make a way. And avenues, that's the different things where how people are exposed to it and what is possible for them to make it. So everything changes, you know, generation by generation, and the motivation where we can hear jazz in this, you know, we'll never hear jazz in its original format in a bar, you know, where people are smoking and all of that.
Yeah, the smoky bars they had back in the day.
You know, but that's, you know, where that idea comes from, and that's part of the culture of what it was. We don't have that. So there's nothing to motivate that impotence, or only from what we have retained in historical, you know, that they can see this.
It's funny that when you mentioned jazz because there's a movie out now called Bolden, and it's a movie about the life of Buddy Bolden, who was one of the early, some people say invented jazz, but one of the early innovators in jazz back in Louisiana.
And see, that's great. That's great that movie is out there, and so people can see that is, you know, where they can adventure to have that kind of life or whatever. I mean, it's
to
still
expose
there.
themselves to that.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, for me, I'm adventurous, and people to nurture that adventurous spirit. I'm curious, and I'm still curious, and I'm still want to learn different ways of how to play music.
Yes, but you have to be like that as a musician because you can't be in a box.
Well, yes.
I mean, you have to.
But
you have to be
the
broad.
business, but the business is something else.
Oh, talk about the business. Keep it real. Come on, right? Keep it real.
Okay. Well. Yeah, I mean,
the business,
it is a box that you need to, you know, you're packaging your product,
right?
Okay, so what is your product to be, and that is another creative aspect of the artist, to be able to do.
Well, you know, it's interesting you say that because Duke Ellington's motto was always. I'm trying to think of. He used to always say, you know, he didn't believe in categories, beyond category.
Right. Well, we don't. Yeah. But I mean, but for the business,
you got to find a way to market it. Yeah.
That's right. Yes.
So I mean, to label it, is it jazz? Is it R&B? Is it country? Is it this? Is it that? Yeah, that's the business.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, and I'm fortunate and blessed, you know, that I've nurtured that skill. And I do consider that as a skill, so I can teach in that sense. But keep the time to still be creative
at the same time.
Right.
Yes.
And so and collaborate. collaborating
with
with
other
other
musicians.
people. Yes.
Oh yeah, that's important too.
Yes. And
Yeah.
so, and that's what the business is sort of harmful for, because it has everybody, competing so hard to make their own box that they're not. We still need the bass, we still need the guitar, we still
Yeah.
need the singers or whatever. But if
Yeah.
everyone's boxed in, then they won't move with each other.
Well, the problem
You
when I
know.
hear in terms of
Yeah.
I guess secular music, not secular music in general, but the terms of I guess of some artists that I hear nowadays. I'm speaking of R&B and some of the other genres. Everybody want to sound like everybody else. I don't like that. Because when I grew up
That's
listening
the
to music,
business.
yeah, but that's
Because
I don't like that.
that's
Be
what
unique.
is being
Be your
packaged.
unique
But the point
self.
is, right, but see, that's the thing.
Too many
But when
artists.
you hear the breakaway, when you do hear, when you
breakaway,
hear
yeah.
something original,
Yes.
then you know that.
Yeah, my
So-
ears perk up. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
I like this artist here. They're different.
Exactly.
They are very different.
So, there's
That's
hope.
what it. Yeah.
There's always
Well, 'cause when you talk about the business, that's a whole nother monster there.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Wow.
I'm right. And should it be the goal, or is it no? Being an artist and working on that, and that's why I try to keep that vision in mind. And where am I going to continue and and flourish that and grow?
Where would you like to go with your music?
Well, actually, I mean, I think I'm doing
In other
a
words-
lot. I'm doing a lot because I've meld myself into classical.
Okay.
So I'm having fun with the chamber music and the two orchestras that in Washington D.C. I've been playing with. We have
wow.
the D.C. strings. We've been in existence for 5 years.
Oh, tell me
Yeah,
about that.
DC strings. We used to serve the churches and get little string groups so they can do their messiahs, Handel and their church
okay.
church choirs with the orchestra.
Wow,
and
that's
now
beautiful.
we've grown into a full orchestra that we're
Really?
doing our own symphonies and
Oh, so you're part of that as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's 5 years now.
Really?
6, yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Being a part of that.
Yes. And
Wow.
then we have our chamber music, and then I have a couple of jazz players that I enjoy to play with, and we're,
Okay.
and I'm a singer, and I do get
As
to
well,
sing,
yeah.
on a clear day.
Now there are violinists who do jazz.
Oh yes, plenty of and what's really unique, talking about originality, you have violinists that are singing and
Wow.
playing at the same time.
Wow.
Which it's a skill you can do. You hear all of these parts, and it's singing like singing and playing the guitar
At the same time. Yeah.
right. So that's on the horizon.
Okay. I want to get another piece in.
Okay.
So think about a piece that we might do.
Okay.
Anything you might want to do, because I want people to hear how beautiful you play.
Okay.
Anything around the top of your head is good.
Yes. Get a little room here.
And then we'll talk about that piece.
Actually, I may do a medley.
Okay. Yes, that'd be good. So beautiful, brother, and we appreciate you. Oh, wow. Now, talk about that piece.
Well, first I started with the Olympic theme,
Okay.
which is a worldwide thing.
It's a medley, huh?
Yes,
Yeah.
and then with Beethoven, Ode to
I thought I heard some Bay in there.
Yeah, Ode to Joy. And then the last piece was the meditation from Thais.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
They used to play that on, you know, when the
I heard
radio
it.
stations.
I didn't know the name of it, but I know I heard it.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
man. Brother, it's really nice having you here. It's beautiful. We got to get you back for part 2, man.
Oh.
So how can people get in touch with you?
Oh, well.
For whatever. I mean,
yeah,
for private engagements or, you know.
Sure.
Whatever.
Well, I have a website,
Okay.
raycurt.com, RAYCURT. The two grandfathers, Raymond and Curtis, put together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
We also want to thank your aunt for coming in the studio and sharing with us as well.
yes,
Yes,
she's
we
always
thank you.
inspiration. the
And for her
spirits.
support, we thank you so much.
Yeah.
Before we have to go, talk about the picture here.
Oh, yes. Well, see, you got to have a little visual theater,
Yeah.
you know, when you're out playing. for
And people
to
take these
look.
pictures of you?
Yeah,
you
well,
performing?
yeah, well, this is a collection of pictures that world travel. This is in Spain on top of a mountain. And this is,
Wow.
of course, in front of the Colosseum in Italy.
You wait a minute, you were playing on Spain on top of a mountain?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then
What
there's the Palace, the Eiffel Tower.
Okay.
And then, in front of Italy, the Colosseum.
Wow.
This was the orchestra, the Gewandhaus Orchestra. Festival Orchestra in Leipzig, where I'm in there. And played with them for 2 years. Actually, I toured with them.
Oh man, let me hold this up.
Yeah.
This is
And then, and
this
that's
is
in front of
wonderful
the-
here. I'm trying to hold this. Yeah, these are photos that people have taken of you while performing.
Well, yes.
It's like a collage.
Yeah.
Oh wow, man, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Really is. So you're enjoying playing wherever?
Yeah.
Wherever
Oh,
you
yeah.
are.
There's Times Square.
Oh, okay. Times
There's the
Square.
Washington Capitol.
Wow. So you playing everywhere. Do the places choose you, or you just choose the places? Say, I'm just gonna go and
It's
play.
where you go.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. To
Share your
you're
gift,
discovering the world.
Yes.
And,
That's the
and
beauty of it.
Yeah, what we have
Wow.
while we're here.
Yeah,
You know,
to share
to
music
see that.
and
Yeah,
bring
and
joy.
share- Exactly.
Brother, you keep bringing joy with your instrument. It's a God-given gift, and I thank you. When I get you back for part 2, because I still got a half another million questions I'm gonna ask you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's just so
I'd like
much.
to bring
Next time you come back, bring some friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring some friends, and we'll do that, man. I would love to do that. But we thank you for coming. I've been talking with the great musician, violinist, Ray Curt Johnson. I've known this brother for a lot of years, and he played that violin like few people that I know. And I thank you so much for coming and sharing, brothers. We're going to get you back on. I thank you. I'm Danny Queen. This is Color Me Poetry. And until next time, color me poetry. I am, I can, and I will. Be at peace.
I am poetry. I am the living experience. I